and today is going to be an exciting day. It's a beautiful, warm day. The sun is shining. We've been living in the mist for the last 3 days, like really living in the mist. And I'm so excited to be here. I don't know, today I'm like super amped than I normally am amped. Okay, that's called on the edge of madness, but I know you'll forgive me. So here we go, guys. I hope you're sitting. I hope you're ready. I hope you've got your coffee and your snacks or whatever your juice is, and we're ready to go. We've got an hour packed full of good gardening information for you, brought to you by Builders. It's 11 o'clock. It is Thursday, and we are good to go. So I see there are loads of you online already. I want to check who's here and say good morning. Heather, good morning. Good morning. Liz. Hello, Liz. Hello. Cookie Naidu, good morning. Karish from YouTube. Sharon Naidu, hello from KZN. Haley Wright, good morning. What a cool profile pic. What are you like? You paddling or something there? Shanaz, good morning. Erica, hello. Rainika, Mamoline, good morning. Gary, good morning. Sharon, good morning. Tanya, good morning. Zoyicha, am I saying that right? Zoyicha. Tell me if I'm saying that right. Message us. Tell them if I've got the pronunciation right there. Erica, good morning. Rinka, good morning. Man, guys. Tess, good morning. Tian, gorgeous spring day in Cape Town. Hallelujah. I believe it's been fab. I believe you've had perfect days. Perfect days. That makes me very. Renata says there's an echo sound. Renata, check your... Is anybody else finding an echo sound? Renata, just check your mic. Maybe it's too high there or something. Or log off and then log back on. Probably just like little gremlins living in your computer. I have them regularly. I'm told I break my computer too often by my IT people. And that kind of figures because this computer gets bark thrown on it, a little bit of water every now and then, Julie, good morning. Lee Edwards, good morning. Hilda, good morning. Gary, Tracy Harkness, Vanessa Tiddy, good morning. Sharon Partington, oh my gosh, everybody is here. Judy, good morning. Lynette Opie, good morning. Jess, Sharon. Man, guys. Man. It is cooking. So, guys, remember, please, to get your questions lined up and ready. We are ready for you. We're going to go through some summer gardening, spring into summer. We're kind of getting to that point, eh? We're getting to that point where it's the cusp. And I call it the cusp, and sometimes our gardens can look a little bit untidy-ish, because the delphiniums are kind of finishing over, the primulas are looking a bit drab, the winter bulbs have finished flowering, so it's that kind of in-betweenish, but we're here to make it easy for you, and remember, guys, it's eat the elephant in bite-sized chunks. Remember, you are your worst critics. I had a phone call from someone this morning in the beautiful little village of Underberg in KZN, where they had one of the coldest winters, like the coldest. He's a farmer, and he was actually trying to dig a trench during winter. True story, and he had one of those big machines, those big yellow machines. I think it's called a back actor or something, like with one of those things. You know that thing? Anyway, so he was trying to dig a trench, and the ground was frozen. Now, he is a rose fundi, he knows more about roses than I'll ever know, and his garden is going to be open in a few weekends' time, and this boy is stressing. I mean, he's having a complete collapse, meltdown, give me medication. And I just said to him, dude, we are the worst critics of our own creation. It's like any artist, it's like anybody who loves what they do. We always think we could do it better. We always can see the open gaps. We can always see the plant that's not quite behaving. So be kind to yourselves, guys. Just be kind to yourselves. That's what's most important. And remember, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Kind of cliched, but you got to live it. You really have to live it. But It's spring, and I'm going to ask Warwick to jump behind the camera quickly, because I just want to show you quickly for a moment. Come. Ooh. Look at these babies. I mean, look, aren't you sexy? Aren't you sexy, baby? It's so sexy. So I've got a few Clivias in pots, and you know, I started collecting Clivias, and then I got waylaid with something else, because I'm ADHDEF, you know, like the entire spectrum of the alphabet. So I started collecting them, and then I ran out of pots. So then I said, I'm just going to hoy them into the garden, and as one does, and I put them in, by the way, let's talk quickly molds and Clivias. So what you can do is put the Clivia in a plastic pot, and then bury the plastic pot. Okay, the other thing that you can do is just dig a hole, like you're going to be planting, and get some chicken wire, chicken mesh, or even that plastic coated wire that you get in rolls from builders. You know, go around the corner there where they sell the shade cloth and that, because that's where they sell that stuff. And all you do is you line your hole with that, make sure it goes right to the top of the surface, okay? Because moles can do like little hurdles as well, little hurdles. So put that in, plant your bulbs, whatever it is, with pure confidence, knowing that they will be okay. But look at the sweetheart. Man, I actually want to give her a name. We'll call her Charlize. Yeah, she's quite gorgeous. Anyway, so that's the yellow. This is one of the Belgian hybrids. And you know, guys, I mean, this I actually just bought as a normal Clivia, threw it in a pot, and you know what? That's the thing. Most of us don't know what we're going to get, and that's all part of the surprise of gardening. And she has turned out to be this beautiful, deep orange, almost touching on bronze, and it's got a flat stem. When they've got these flat stems, instead of like the traditional rounded, you will know that it's got Belgian heritage. Ooh, fancy. But never mind, whatever you've got, they're looking gorgeous, guys. Remember, there's some issues that can go down with Clivias, and those issues are mainly that dreadful caterpillar, the amaryllis caterpillar, which loves eating your Clivias. It loves eating your Agapanthus. It loves eating any lily-like plants. And what happens is that moth comes along. He lays the eggs, which we generally don't see. The only time we see things happening is when the leaf has been shredded. And sometimes it's so gross. It's so gross. It's like alien invasion. You can actually see the caterpillar crawling in between the leaf layers, and it's revolting. What I normally do then is to satisfy my insensitivity for the fact that they are choosing my plants to eat. I squash them. Okay, I normally squash them, and then I give them some muti, and the muti is there just to send them off to heaven. And get life sorted. So what do you do for those? Because I know there are going to be some questions. Guys, there are various ways that you can deal with this. So I want to give you 2 or 3 options. They're all going to do the job. It just depends on how vicious you want to go out there. So this over here is called Larva Pro. Larva, so in the larval stages. Remember, so as soon as you see those little caterpillars, as soon as you see them, and guys, this could be on your cabbages, it could be on your broccoli, any little caterpillar, creepy crawly little nunu, okay? You're going to take one of these sachets, because you get 3 sachets in a box, all right? You're going to drop the sachet into 1 liter of water, and you're going to spray the plant. Now what happens is, this product over here actually is a natural forming little, what is the word? I'm trying to get the right word for it. It's a little crystal. It's actually a naturally occurring, I'm getting my words mixed up. It's a naturally occurring little crystal. But what it does is that as soon as it touches the caterpillar, or the caterpillar goes and like, and takes a bite of your plant, and it ingests this little crystal, what happens is it gives the caterpillar like a really, really bad tummy, like diarrhea, like really badly. And the caterpillar stops eating and it dies. What's the upside of this? The upside is that if you go along and say it was a cabbage and you eat the cabbage that day, you can spray and eat the same day. Treat and eat the same day, because this is a natural product. It doesn't affect us humans at all. It doesn't affect ladybirds. It doesn't affect butterflies. It doesn't affect dragonflies, fur kids, even naughty children. It doesn't affect. Doesn't even give them a tummy ache. Anyway, so you know what I'm saying. It really is a good product, guys. The other one that you can use is Plant Protector or Complete. Now, both of these, guys, work as a drench, okay? And it's important that you understand this. This is not, you can spray it on, but it's most effective as a drench. So follow the instructions. It's a very small amount. You put it into a watering can. You go to the said plant, and you use it as a drench around the plant. So that is called a systemic insecticide. Systemic because it gets taken up by the roots into the plant cells. When said caterpillar comes and takes a munch, well, you know, the end of that story. That bedtime story doesn't end all that nicely, but mission accomplished. So that works. That works. Okay. So those are those things. Who else is here? Let's see. Sue's here. Sue, hello from George. Spare thought for the Kimberley folks. 39 degrees there. Oh, caramba. Yeah. Cooking with gas there. Yeah, Kimberley. Anyway. Heather, good morning, Heather. Who else is on here? Gary, I haven't said good morning to you yet. Let's go down. Let's see who's here on page 5. Elisma, hello, good morning. Maureen is here. Maureen. And Lynn Doherty. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning. Debbie from YouTube. Debbie Thomas, good morning. Okay, right. Okay. Oh, and Maliga, have you been on before? Maliga Govender, good morning to you too. Right, guys, so as I do almost every maybe, yeah, okay, I'll be honest, maybe like every second week, twice a week, maybe like 3 times a week, I'm in my local Builders. True story. Builders Hillcrest. Okay, they know me by name. I know them. They're like my family. And while I was walking around there looking for 1 or 2 things, I came across this. Look at this little guy. Look at it. And I haven't opened it because I wanted to save it for this morning. Because I thought, now this is a cool little invention. And I'm just going to grab my little knife here because I just think it's really fab. And you can probably, so I haven't opened this guy up yet, but it looked really cool. And I'm thinking for folks that have got small gardens, and even if you don't have a small garden, if you're only wanting to sow like 12, what's this, 3, 6, 9, 12, like 12 of something. You know, you don't want to sow the whole packet of spinach. You know, well, what are you going to do with them? You know, start selling outside Builders. Did I say that? Okay. But guys, look at this. It's a little mini little greenhouse thing. So this is cardboard. Okay, so it's like paper mache, and they've molded it into these. So you've got your nine little cavities where you can sow. Then obviously this, yes, there's the base. Oh, mummy, mummy. Okay, and there's the little house your father. Okay, now it doesn't have holes because that's a good thing. That's a good thing, guys. Why? Because, oh, and this is made all of recyclable stuff. You know, it's all been recycled, upcycled. So there's a good point on that. You can buy with a clean conscience. And then, so you're going to sow your little babies in here. You're going to pop them into there. And then look. Hi, mummy. Dance of joy, dance of joy. Isn't it so cute? Guys, remember, when you're sowing like this, you're only going to sow using your palm peat. Okay, remember? Your palm peat. Okay, I did this just about 20 minutes ago. Literally, I put a block in here. Okay, you know the block. You know the block, guys. Okay, you find it in big piles at Builders. Don't buy one because you're going to need more. And I popped this block in here literally 20 minutes ago, and look what I've got. Beautiful, friable palm peat. Love it, love it, love it. So remember, that's what's going to go in here. You're going to pop your little seeds in, give it a good water. Remember to label it. Yes, remember to label it because our memories go through like, they have like little like lapses, and then we forget what we sowed, and we're like, what are you? What are you? Okay. So then sow it, give it a water, and then put your lid on. You will not have to water it until they've germinated. Okay, because remember, this little thing forms its own little mini greenhouse. I'm really chuffed, super inexpensive, and so new. I know what I'm doing after this live. Okay, all right. So let's see. I believe that there's some questions coming through here. Okay, Karen Branson Ferreira. Right, good morning. Something is chomping my leaves on my mallow tree. Never see any insects at all. What would you suggest? It is always covered with flowers and the bees love it, so I assume it would need to be organic. Yeah, 100%. So, remember, so there are two things, guys. At the moment in the Eastern Cape, there are swarms of locusts. It's a change of season, it's locust season. So while you're at work, or while you're just not paying attention, it could actually be locusts. Remember, locusts come along, graze, eat, and move because they are a moving swarm. They need to get somewhere. So it is locust season. In the Eastern Cape, they have caused huge amounts of damage at the moment. They haven't got into the flight stage, so they pupate. So at some point, they're just like crawling on the floor, and then you can stomp them. As soon as they get to flying, it's really bad. So my answers to you, it's going to be either what did I say, locusts, or the second thing is it could be snails. Now you're going to say, how are snails going to end up there? Trust me, they do it. If the plant is juicy enough, they will become trapeze artists just to get there. Can you see the snail? Okay, so I know I'm having a really good time. So please, what I want you to do during the day is go and inspect that tree. Turn the leaves upside down. Look where the leaf axil joins the stem and have a look there. Also down the stem, because down the stem of the tree generally is a bit more shaded, okay? And that's where they're going to hide during the day. So I think it's going to be one of two, but on a safe note, for you to know what to use, I would suggest that you use Eco Insect Control, all right? Eco Insect Control, it's an Effecto product, or the other thing is, this is the caterpillar insecticide, but you get another one. It looks exactly the same. It's got Margaret Roberts on it, but it says organic insecticide spray, okay? Okay, organic insecticide spray. That is a mixture of, you'll know exactly what it's a mixture of when you open it up, because it is like you have just stepped into an Italian kitchen. It is garlic. It's garlic mixed with an oil, a natural oil, all right? So when you spray, it basically smothers the insect. So that will be able to help you. I hope that answers you. Right. Gary wants to know, Gary Rory, how do you effectively get rid of fungus, gnats, and whiteflies? I've tried Kemperin on 2 occasions. Are there any preventative methods? Gary, that's a very good question. Now, I'm going to use said beautiful specimen here of Mulfa. Mulfa, geraniums, prone to whitefly. There are some plants that are just more susceptible to whitefly than others. Geraniums are one of them. Any of your cabbage family, cabbages, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, oh man, they're just like a magnet. And fuchsias. And how do you know you've got whitefly? Well, if you go to the bush, give it a shake, and you see these little things hovering above. No, it's not your eyes that have been looking into the sun. That is whitefly. And it's a dreadful pest to get rid of because it reproduces so often. So the trick with whitefly and with, what's the other one? Red spider mite. The trick with those is to spray frequently. So it's not about one application. So whatever you're going to be using, it's not once off. It's once every 3 days, at least for 10 days. Because you've got to break the cycle. Because you might kill those adults, Okay, and depending on what you're using, because there are some products out there that will kill them in all forms. So in their gnat size, in their little egg, in the pupa, whatever. Okay, so there are products out there that will nuke the whole family cycle and like get all the generations. But still, I would recommend that you're going to spray every 3 days. The other product that you can use, Gary, and maybe you want to try this out, it's called Pest Pro. Pest Pro is also one of the biological products from EcoBuzz. You can pick it up at your local builders, and it works in exactly the same way. It's a beneficial fungus that basically when you spray it on, you're spraying it onto the leaves, that fungus then grows. Okay, it grows on the leaf. You can't see it. It doesn't damage your plant. It doesn't hurt your plant. But let me tell you what it does eat for breakfast is whitefly. It eats red spider mite in all its stages. Now that's what I want to know. Plus, it's very, very safe for us. So safe that you and I could serve this up as a sprinkle on a muffin because it is incredibly safe for any of us. Birds, butterflies, fur kids, the rest of it. Okay, I hope that helps you. Malinga Govender, why is my lemon tree not bearing fruit? It is grafted tree and bore fruit for the first year. It's my 3rd year. Okay, Malinga? Question is, have you been feeding it? Okay, feeding. And if your lemon tree is in a pot, guys, even more reason that you've got to feed. Okay, very important. So lemon trees, in order to produce flowers, in order to produce fruit, you need energy. Okay, and it's like roses. I want you just to think about roses. The rose people will tell you, if you want big flowers, if you want beautiful flowers, you have to have big leaves. Because the leaves that's the workhorse, that's the engine room down in the ship. That's the pistons firing. Okay, and if you do not get that right, you're not going to get the flowers. And in the case of a lemon tree, after the flowers come the fruit. So, Malinga, what I want you to do is I want you to give it a good feeding, and a good feeding. So, this is a baby packet, but you buy them in big packets at Builders in a 5 kg or 10 kg. It's called Bio Ocean. Okay, now think about it. Bio Ocean, what does that mean? So, this is an organic pelletized chicken litter. It's been through the heating process, it's been through the resting, it's been through a huge process at their factory. What that basically means is that you are getting chicken litter that will never burn, it will never hurt your plants, it's got all the right humic content in it, and what it is going to do, it also has ocean. Think of the word bio-ocean. It also has, yes, seaweed in it. We all know how good kelp is for our plants because it gives us a bit of calcium, a bit of iron, a bit of all those things that plants need. So give it a good few handfuls. The good thing with this stuff is, Malinga, is that you can never overfeed because it will never burn. So you can never overfeed. So good few handfuls around the plant. And if you haven't had rain wherever you are, you want to give your lemon tree a really good deep watering once a week. Deep watering. If it's in a pot, more frequently, okay, at least twice a week, okay, but if it's in the ground, a good deep watering. And when I mean a deep watering, that means you don't stand there with the hose pipe and wet the leaves. No, you water the soil, okay, water the soil, let it go in. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to get hold of some of this. It's called multi-grow, and this you're going to apply as a foliar spray. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, you're going to mix it into a little spray bottle, okay, or one of those pressurized guys. You're going to mix it into that, and you're going to spread it. You're going to spray it over the leaves because this is like giving it a good boost and a good tonic. All right, and we all need a tonic every now and then. Okay, Tian, Tian Fasaki, he's got a snail explosion. Just an army of them, not causing much damage yet. Everything I find is not safe for the fur kids. Yeah, Tian, okay, I'm with you. So a bit nervous of them chomping down on a radioactive escargot. Save those escargots for your mother-in-law. Tian. Edit that, reverse, edit, copy and paste. What would you recommend? Okay, Tian, good news for you is that there actually are some options. Now, there's two things over here. There are two things that I want you to look at. So the one is, in fact, you can use both at the same time. The one is a snail trap, okay, and the other one is this. Now, the snail trap is very, very simply, are bottle stores open all the time now? Still not? Ah, right. Today's Thursday, boys and girls. If you want to be using this, Tian, I need you to go to the bottle store and I need you to buy 6 of your favorite brands of beer. 6. If they've got a case on special, buy the case, buddy. Buy the case. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Right. Okay, so this guy works very, very simply. You get it at Builders just down there below the chemicals. They're normally on a shelf down there. You get 2 of these little bad boys, very easy to use, wherever you see this activity. So wherever you see this army, you know, this tribe of snails that are going about their thing, you're going to drink at least half of the beer. That's of the first beer. The rest of it you're going to pour into here. Okay, pour till it really just gets to the surface. You're going to bury this guy in between the plants where you see the snail activity. Bury it. Put the little hoodie on, okay? Do the same with the other one because you've now finished the first beer, okay? Because you drank half of it. So that means you've got to open a second one. You drink half of that too, and the other half you give to the snails, okay? And then you put the second one in, like that, okay? And then you leave it, you go back and you sit down and you drink the rest of the case, or whatever you want to do. A week later, a couple of days later, go back and check. And you just lift the little hoodie, and let me tell you, you will find snails in there by, I can't say the hundreds because they're not all going to fit in there. That's why you need to check it out. But you're going to find snails in there. What happens is snails are attracted to the smell of the yeast of the beer. It's the yeast. Okay, they love that smell. So they come along, they crawl through their little pergola here. They crawl through the pergola. They enter into the beer, and it's like frothy, delicious, whatever brand it is. They suck it all up, and they die very drunk and very happy. Happy snails, happy snails. Okay, then what you can do is if your fur kids come along, pull this thing to pieces, eat the snails, because if it was Rolo would do that, and he would bring the snails in as a present for mummy, because at the moment he's been bringing me dried up earthworms. True story, dried stiff sticks with a kink in them. Oh, it's horrible. Dried up, stinky, smelly earthworms. So if Rolo's anything, if your dog's anything like Rolo, they will bring you the snails as presents, except they'll have a bit of a yeasty smell. But guys, take these and then put them on the compost heap because it's great. They've eaten your plants, they've got all the nutrition from your plants, and they add good nutrition to the compost heap. Okay, the other thing that you can use is this. Okay, it's called Slug Away, and this is a type of wool. It's a byproduct of wool, but it's a very stiff, hard wool, and it's actually got a bait in it. So there is a bait in here. You sprinkle this around the plants. When you add water to it, they swell. Okay, they swell, and we know that snails don't like anything prickly. Okay, they don't like anything prickly on them. It's like when you've been to the hairdresser. You know when you've been to one of those barbers, yeah, and then they do the and then you walk away and you're like, there's one hair. There's one hair. Oh, where are you? And you end up stripping. Well, that's what I end up doing in the car because that one hair is driving me mental. Okay, so what happens is snails hate walking over prickly things. So that helps as a really good deterrent. And of course, the other one is good old eggshells. Tian, use eggshells. Remember, take the eggshells, crush them fine. They've got to be fine. We prefer to put them in the oven. Okay, so we crush them, we put them in a baking tray on a really low heat, like 50 degrees, let them just dry nice and slowly so they're very sharp edges. You sprinkle that around your plants, little electric fence on extra power, okay, and the snails don't climb over it. They just don't, they hate it. Plus, the eggshells are really good for your soil. Especially if you've got thick, compact soil. It works well because those sharp little shards cut through clay and release other nutrition as well. So, yeah, something to think about. Okay, Karen. Hi, Tanya, my hydrangeas are wilting. Oh, petal. Oh, dear. We live in the low veld, so it's very hot some days. Yes, I know. When I see the wilted leaves, I give more water. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop the bus. Stop the bus, Karen. Nee. Is die Afrikaans? Nee. Luister nou na my. About every second day, am I giving too much water? They get morning sun and I guess afternoon shade. Right, Karen, number 1. Never water your plants when they are wilted. Never. Because all you're doing is you're adding more stress. Because now think about it. The sun is beating down onto your plants. It's drawing. You can't see it. But remember in school when we had those pictures of the sea, of the clouds, of the forest, of the slope, of the water running. Remember that picture that we had to draw called the greenhouse effect or something, or is that what it's called? Well, you know that story. Yes. So that's exactly what's happening with your plants, is that the sun is beating down, it's drawing out the moisture from the leaves. As soon as you add more moisture to the surface, it's going to suck more. Okay, so you only water if you know that it's going to be a really hot day. You water early in the morning, okay? Good deep watering. Please make sure, Karen, that your hydrangeas are mulched. When I talk about mulch, what do I mean? That is leaves, that is grass clippings, that is bark, that is compost, anything on the top layer of soil to keep all that moisture in, okay? So water early in the morning or really late in the afternoon. But please don't water during the heat of the day when they are wilted. Hydrangeas do that, but you know what? They perk up again. They're like, hi, I'm back. Just had a moment, but I'm back. So don't stress yourself out. What I would suggest that you do is you just give them an extra feeding just to make sure that they've got the nutrition, because it's like us when we sweat. So what must I do? View the cue. Oh, yes. Thank you. My team at the back there are keeping me on my toes. When we sweat, we lose a lot of electrolytes, yeah? And then you get dehydrated, yes. And then you fall over and the ambulance has to come take you. Right. The same happens with plants because a lot of the nutrition is being sucked out of them. So feed them with some hydrangea food, guys. It's specifically for hydrangeas. It's very easy. There's a little measuring thing in here, into water. Pour it around the plant and Bob's your uncle. All right. Okay. Right, next up, Gail. I have an oblong, small, shiny black beetles that are all over my daisy. Gerbera and gardenias, yes. Been spraying them with bio-neem, but they just seem to continue. Okay, the bio-neem, you know that little, I don't know what it's called, that little bug, but I know exactly what you're talking about. They've got a very hard outer shell. And that's why the bio-neem might just not be enough to kick them off the edge, okay? It might just not be enough. Anything with a hard outer case is a bit more challenging to get rid of. So what I would suggest that you do, I'm thinking, what am I going to recommend to you? I would start with Margaret Roberts' biological insecticide. Try that first, because the mixture of the garlic and the neem and the oil, that's the natural oil, is basically going to coat these little beetles, and that'll help them, send them to heaven quite quickly. So I would try that first. If you're finding that that's not working to your satisfaction quick enough, in other words, like, psst, are you dead? No. Are you dead? Psst, no. Okay, if you want something a bit more faster acting than that, then I would go with, where is it? In fact, use the eco-insecticide, because the eco-insecticide has got a bit more of a tougher active ingredient. So use Effecto's eco-insecticide. You could also use Stark Airs have a garden insecticide. It's called for garden insects. Use the Stark Airs one. That will also knock them off into oblivion in no time. Okay, hope that helps. Right, or if all else fails, invite the friends over with little ones, with little vermin. Oh, sorry, those are children. Little children, invite them over, and you give them 20 cents per beetle that they collect. And they've got to put them in the specimen jar, and they've got to give you the actual specimens. You give them the cash, and they've got to then take them home with them and create a little eco hotel for them in their garden. Oh, my word. Okay, Tandy, good morning. Birds are eating my spinach and cabbage leaves. It's so bad that you have to plant the spinach again. Okay, Tandy, you've got to get down to like Farmer Brown stuff here, hey? You got to go back to like the 1820 settlers, what they did, you know? A boer maak 'n plan. And this is what you got to do, Tandy. I want you to make some scarecrows, okay? We can all make scarecrows. Make scarecrows, the birds are scared of them. Hang old CDs, okay? Hang old CDs, a lot of them, because as they turn, it like sparkles and it frightens the birds away. The other thing, if all else fails, is to get bird netting. Bird netting is inexpensive. You can buy it in a big bag. It folds out. You get like meters of it. And you don't need a major structure. You just stick a peg in here, a piece of stick, like any of these. You're just going to stick them around, okay, around your plants. Get a good old cable tie. You know, cable tie solves anything, and you just strap the netting to that, and that will protect it. And the mouse birds, whew, I don't know if you guys have mouse birds, but we've had some mouse birds, and they've also chomped. They've chomped the spinach, they've chomped the cabbage. They really are destructive little creatures, even although they've got cute tails. Right. My little pansies, oh, Lynn is asking, my little pansies have also dropped in this heat. Gave lots of water this morning. Will they recover? Lynn, it's kind of normal. Pansies are cool season plants, okay? So they're during the winter. That's their best time. So that's when they're their happiest. As soon as the temperatures start climbing, I'm afraid it's a graph. As soon as temperatures start climbing, the pansies go dong, 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 dong. So it's one of those. Okay. The pansies don't cope with the extreme heat, but you're doing the right thing. Keep them well watered, not overwatered, because pansies don't like wet feet. And make sure that you keep them fed with some good nutrition. Because remember what I said earlier, good nutrition helps them cope with adverse conditions, whether it be extreme heat, whether it be extreme cold. Strong plants are healthy plants. Strong plants are more resistant to diseases. It's just like us. There's some people, you know them, they're in your office, or they were in your office. If there was one flu molecule floating around your entire 500 square meter office, you know that person that's going to get it. I think I'm sick. You know that person. Yeah, they always get sick. It's the same, okay? It's the same as plants. Plants, if they are weak, they are going to get attacked, okay? It's nature. Seek out the easy target. All right. Okay, Jess. What? Help. I have blackhead-looking holes. Oh, I have blackhead-looking holes in my aloes. Okay, Jess, that is more than likely a fungal infection. Now, on aloes, it's a tough one, hey? It really is a tough one. I'm going to suggest a cocktail. I don't very often recommend a cocktail, but for aloes, it's hard to get rid of that, because that generally is followed then by scale, followed then by another problem. So bear with me here. This is going to knock the socks off those black things. All right. So I want you to use some Complete. All right. So either Complete or Plant Protector. You're gonna dilute that in, follow the instructions, and you're going to use that as a drench around the aloe, okay? The next thing you're going to use is you're going to get this, which is called Funginex, and you're then going to follow the instructions, and you're going to spray according to black spot, okay? It won't have whatever that blackhead looking thing is, because it's a fungal disease, but just follow your instructions according to roses even, and spray your aloes once a week. This you only need to do once a month. Okay, but that should help you out. Okay, Sita, I see birds eating my succulents. I know. Can you believe it? I see birds eating my succulents. I tried the neem oil. It doesn't bother them at all. Sita, that's a problem. Hey, you're gonna have to try the CDs. You're gonna have to try like you're gonna get a water gun. You buy them from like, I don't know, probably builders. You know those ones that you pump up, psh, psh, yeah, squirt them. There's very little that you can do. There really is very little besides putting bird netting over them. But I hear you and I feel your pain. Anita Kanji, good morning. I have planted marigolds in my veggie garden and these have been eaten along with my Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. And these have been eaten along with my seedlings. What do I do? Anita, so the marigolds and the veggies have been eaten. Okay, so you're fresh out. Okay, so it's probably going to be snails. It's going to be snails. So follow one of my previous remedies that I spoke about a little bit earlier. If you've only joined now, remember that this will be up on where? Facebook. It'll be up on Facebook after this, so you can like go reverse to the part where I'm talking about snails. Okay, but it probably 9 times out of 10 it is snails. Jennifer, where's Jennifer? Jennifer Smith, good morning. My hibiscus has black spots. Help, used oil and washing liquid. Jennifer, pff, listen to me. Washing liquid. If washing liquid was so good for plants, do you think we'd need any of these? No. Okay, so washing liquid, it has a place. Yes, it can get rid of aphids. I never said that, okay? But if it's got black spots, it's probably a fungal infection. Fungicide, you need to use something like Fungi-Nex. Please spray it on weekly, once a week, until those leaves are repaired and you don't see that spot getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But that is generally a fungal problem. Okay. Lucy. Oh, no, Lucy. Lucy in the sky of diamonds. Lucy, you're asking the question that nobody's allowed to talk about. You're not allowed to talk about moles, and you're not allowed to talk about monkeys. Okay, but now you brought up the word moles, so I'm going to have to tell you how to deal with them. So moles, guys, and listen, this is a true story. I was at my local little garage up the road, you know, where you go and buy like bread and milk and stuff, and the lady who works there was telling me, she's really had a tough time with moles. They come up and they eat everything, and she's an avid gardener. So I told her to go to Builders and buy one of these. It's called a Defender. It works with batteries. You stick it into the ground, not right where the moles are. You're going to put it about 5 meters away from where the moles are, okay? And then it emits a sonic and it chases them away. I saw her yesterday and she saw me through the one-way glass or whatever. She came running out and she said, T, I just want to tell you that the mole thing's working. And I'm like, you see, stick with me and it'll be okay. So Mole Defender is what you need to do, please. Or else give your Jack Russell free mining rights in your back garden. Not recommended. Okay. Wendy, what is the best time to make mulch of your garden trimmings? Oh, what is the best way? Sorry, I beg your pardon. Wendy Anderson, what is the best way to make mulch of your garden trimmings? Wendy, there are so many different ways. So I'm going to go like the Ferrari. So Ferrari, Lamborghini, Lexus. Top end. Okay. Christmas is coming up. Yes. Can you believe it? They've started selling Christmas decorations in shops already. All I'm waiting for is Boney M to start playing, and then I'm going to find that speaker in the shop and I'm going to smash it. So the top end one, the Lamborghini, is you're going to go, because it's coming up to Christmas, put your list in and go and buy your gift from me, from you to me, from you to you, you to you. Yes, one of those. Self-gifting. You want to go and buy a shredder. Now, Builders have got a range of them. Ryobi, I think they've got Bosch as well. Go in and get a shredder, guys, and that's the top end. You put all your bits through that, out out the other side comes beautiful leaf litter, which is fantastic. You can then take that, you can put that onto your compost heap because it's already been broken down, so it composts that much quicker. Or what you can do is you can simply just use it as a mulch around your plant. So that's the top end, okay? The next one that you can do is as follows, and this is if you've got a little bit more energy. When you've got, so, and I'm not going to recommend this, so listen carefully here now because somebody's going to shoot me down, I know it. So if you've had to upgrade your lawnmower, okay, and you've got a lawnmower that's hanging around, and it happens, you know, like it's like a bit conked out. It's like needs a hip replacement, you know. It's like got a wonky wheel or something, and you had to go and buy a new lawnmower. So you've got a spare, okay? And you're only going to do it if you've got the second one in the wings. You're going to take your clippings, your leaves, as long as they're not logs, like use your grey matter. Put them in a long row, start up that baby, that lawnmower, make sure the leaf box is on and walk over the clippings and the leaves. Ah, yes. Because that all gets churned up, gets thrown into the collection box, the grass clipping collection box. You open that up. Ha ha! Ta-da! There you've got it. What did they say? Kill your ear. Kill your hier en kill your daar in Sinda. So you've got beautiful leaf mold right there. You've broken it all up. Also, please go onto the Builder's blog and search how to make leaf mold from leaves. There's one of my clips on there, and I'm not going to tell you about it because I want you to go onto the blog and have a look at it, guys, because it's going to change the way you see leaves. So please do go and have a look at it. It's on the blog. It's called How to Make Leaf Mold. And it's not mold as in moldy. It's leaf mold. Yeah, go and have a look at it, please. It'll really save you loads and loads of money, and it'll transform the way you look at brown leaves ever again. Okay. Hugo says, how should you treat miniature bougainvilleas in pots? Hugo, very good question. 2 seconds. Now, miniature bougainvilleas are fantastic. There are loads of different varieties. And, you know, people often ask me, what can I plant in a hanging basket? What can I plant in a window box where it gets loads and loads of sun and is really going to be kind of under pressure? Well, guys, a miniature bougainvillea is fantastic. They came in fashion, they went out of fashion, and they're coming back into fashion with the most beautiful colors. Not all those gaudy colors, but which I quite think they're quite nice. You know, bright pinks, bright reds. But you miniature bogues are brilliant, and they are no mess, no fuss. Also, like, you can ignore them, and they'll still perform. It's like, yay! Okay, so what do you feed them with? I would use some Bio-Ocean. Remember, this is the small little packet. Go and get yourself some Bio-Ocean. Use one of these over here. Please use one of these as a liquid plant food. That's going to get them going. And remember, when they've finished flowering, give them a light haircut. Just a light haircut. Remember, bougainvilleas only flower on their terminal stems. This is very important. This is very, very important, because if some of you are in the habit of pruning your poor bougainvillea into a ball. Now, I see this when I drive all around suburbia. I see it. On the verges, in the garden, there's this poor bougainvillea being pruned into a ball. The poor thing never gets to flower. Because if you're pruning, you're always pruning away the terminal stems. So those stems, the end stems, and that's where they produce their bracts. Remember the part that we see as the foliage, as the color, the red, the pink, those are the bracts. The flower is actually that little white thing in the inside. Okay, so don't prune them, please. Prune them after they've flowered. Okay, so I hope that helps you. Glynis, look at that Nunu. Who's that Nunu sleeping in your profile pic? Hi, caramba. Oh, yuckles, stuckles. That's as much as my parental, that thing. You know what I mean. Okay, Glynis. What can I use to kill weeds in the lawn without killing the grass? 2, have tried lawn weed kill in one spot and the grass is... Oh, Glennis, I wish I could just be transported there and come and help you. Okay, Glennis, this is how you do it. And please listen very, very carefully, because I'm going to whiz through this because we're running short of time. Now, it's very, very important that once again, there are many products that do the job. You can use this. Where's my other one? Lawn weeder. I had it here a minute ago. Am I losing my marbles? Highball. Okay, never mind. Okay, so yeah, don't stress. So there are many products in the market. Yes, throw. Oh, catch. Lawn weeder. Did you see that? Action cricket. So there's one this is called Lawn Weeder. It's by Combat. The other one is Versus. The other one is called Turf Weeder by Effecto. Guys, they all work. And they only work, and they will not kill your lawn if you follow the instructions. So the instructions all tell you the same thing. 50 milliliters into 5 liters of water. That 5 liters needs to get spread over 100 square meters. Glennis is saying, oops. That's where you went wrong. So when you're applying it, please, only one spray. Okay, it's one. Not, and if you see a big weed, okay, you're not killing it by drowning. It's very important that you follow those instructions, Glennis. So try it again. Sometimes your lawn will go slightly yellow. But for it to go yellow, that definitely is an over-application. So yes, they all do work. They've all gone through the tests. Unfortunately, it comes down to human error. So read the instructions again, give it another try, and as you remember, as you are going over, so you want one of those pressure sprayers. As you are going over the lawn, it's just a like that, one. Okay, we did actually have a master class, or did we have an on lawns? We did one on lawns for builders. Yes, so go back onto their Facebook and you'll see it's a whole hour just on lawns, and I know that we covered your question in detail there. So please do pop back onto the Facebook page, scroll in reverse, and go and have a look for that one, which was on spring lawns. Okay. Marilyn, will Lava Pro kill those big white grubs in the soil in pots? Okay, Marilyn, I'm going to tell you not to kill those big white grubs. Okay, I'm going to tell you not to kill them. Other gardeners, if you speak to other people in the industry, they'll tell you, kill them. I'm going to say don't kill them, because they mainly eat soil. They mainly process soil. Okay, not your roots. So don't kill them. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Just don't kill them. And no, Lava Pro will not kill them. I'm happy about that. Sorry about that. I know that's not the answer you wanted to hear. Lisa, is it a good idea to plant a Granadilla on a south-facing wall? I'm going to say no. Lisa, because south-facing is going to get a lot of shade. During your winter months, you're probably going to get no sun there at all. So if you don't have the right spot, remember, you can always plant it in a pot. Bougainvilleas, listen to me, Granadillas also do really well in pots. So a nice big pot, thick layer of mulch. When you're planting it into the pot, a mixture of compost and a mixture of potting soil, 50-50, and give it loads of food. No matter if it's in the pot or in the ground, Granadillas are greedy feeders. They produce so many fruit. In order to produce so much fruit, they need a lot of power, a lot of vuma. Okay, so make sure that you feed them. So personally, I would rather put it in a pot that you can then get that sunshine, or else it's just going to become leggy and scraggly, and you're going to be disappointed. Okay, all right. Carol Reynolds, what can I plant on a bank to make it look pretty but is not too expensive? Okay, Carol, I got you here. Couple of things that you can do. Number one, go along and look for a ground cover at your local builders called a Plectranthus. It's indigenous. They're tough as nails. It's a good ground cover. They spread out. One plant can grow up to 1 meter. All right, so you can plant those individually. Get a few of those established, and then you can take a few little cuttings of that and you can slip those in, and it'll cover in no time. Feichies are also good. Lampanthus, they're those beautiful little bright feichies, the little vetplankies. They look fantastic, also nice, creeping, easy to look after, and you really don't have to give them much care at all. Okay, Chanel asked, what is the best medium to use to mound? The best medium to use to mound up your potato plants? Oh, okay, I get you. So, Chanel, ideally, you want to take the soil that is around. So, if this is your row of potatoes, okay, and they're popping up here. So, the soil that's here, you want to take that soil and mound that up so that you've almost got a furrow over there. Okay, so pull that up, and there. If you don't, then get hold of some potting soil, mix potting soil with compost, mix that together, and then you can use that to mound your potatoes on the other side. But for future, just try and use the soil that's in your garden. Okay. Fatima, my Agapanthus plants are getting mold and turning yellow. Ooh, Aibo, Fatima. I think that mold and the turning yellow is actually the caterpillar that has now worked its way through the leaf and is now into the main stem of the plant. And if you go and look right in the center where the leaves all join into the stem, if you look there and you can see like a slimy snotty, the only way I can describe it is like a snotty goo, then that is those caterpillars. So that's when you need to use the complete, or you need to use the Lava Pro, okay, to get rid of them. But I suspect, I really suspect that it's that and nothing else, because Agapanthus are in their prime right now. They shouldn't be getting any fungal diseases at all. Okay, so, right, Tracy Lee, I think we've got time for one more question. Tracy Lee, I've given up with my lawn. Oh, no, baby, no. I've given up with my lawn, or rather my massive weeds. I'm going to dig it all up and start from scratch. Luckily, I live in a complex, so it's small. What do I do before sowing grass seeds? Okay, Tracy, all right, I get you. You've had enough, you're over it, like, I can't do this, ek kan nie meer nie, korporaal. So, what are you going to do? Dig up that lawn. I would definitely spray a pre-emergent herbicide. What is that? Okay, so you'll go into your local builders and you ask them for a weed killer. Okay, a weed killer. Ask them for a weed killer. There are loads of brands on the shelf. Please spray that. Okay, spray that, and you've got to wait. You've got to be patient. And you're going to spray that again the following week, so that any seeds or any weed seeds that were there that are going to start germinating, you whack them. It's a process, this, okay? It doesn't happen like this. I would then just gently turn that soil. Not too deep, just gently turn it. Wait again for another week, because things are going to germinate. When you see them germinating, whack them again with the weed killer. Once you've done that 3 times, for me, it's safe to then put down your lawn seed. Then what you're going to do is put down some compost, put down some 232, okay, or some Atlantic all-purpose. You're going to put that down and rake it really nice and evenly as you can. In fact, use a big plank, and once you've turned it and you've mixed in your compost and your 232 or your Atlantic all-purpose, put the plank on it and just pull that plank back, because that gives you the perfect sowing surface, nice and level. Sow your lawn according to the packet. All right, very important. The instructions on every single packet. There are lots of instructions, so please read them, okay, because then you won't end up with a patchy lawn. Okay, so read the instructions, keep it well watered, because that is the trick. Keep it really well watered, water it every single day until germination has happened, and then start cutting back on it. But if you've got any more questions, we will catch you next month then, when we have our next Builders Live. Remember, guys, we will answer all your questions a little bit later in the afternoon or early tomorrow morning. Oh, there's Bahari barking in the background. You can see Bahari even knows that it's the end of an hour. She's kept quiet for long enough. Folks, remember to go and visit the blog on the website to view loads of other videos. DIYs, gardening tips, how-tos, you name it, it's there. Thank you for joining us this morning. It really has been fun. I hope you guys have learned something, and it really has been a great hour. I thoroughly enjoyed spending time with you. Take care of you and yours, and remember, always enjoy your gardening and happy gardening. And finally, as always, get to builders and get it done. Cheers, everybody. Love you lots.